Both these teams giving the games of their lives right now. Scary spot for iBuyPower. All three of them up to stop that one.
Welcome to yet another episode of Then vs. Now. If you're new here, Then vs. Now is where we go back and look at how different aspects of competitive Rocket League have evolved in just a couple short years. And then we whine about how we would have been pros back then. In episode 1, we covered scoring. Episode 2, mechanics. And today, we look at defense.
Keep the pressure on and another shot defended, but will they get this one? No.
Let's get started. One way to understand how defense has evolved is by understanding what you expect your opponent to do, or what you think the opponent is capable of. When we look at defense in Season 1, defenders were thrown off by extra touches, double touches, or pretty much anything unexpected.
Oh, Maestro gets a nice little tap on that one to get it past the defense.
Watch how Quinn makes an extra turn and realizes too late that Maestro is getting an extra touch on the ball.
Not prepared for that second touch. Tried to read it. It's one of those situations.
Now if we jump to the current era, watch Squishy play this air dribble. And watch the defenders. Before, defenders would never expect this many touches, and a cross-map air dribble would have easily beaten them.
Trying to play that off the wall.
But now, not one, but two defenders predict this cross-map air dribble with ease.
Now, still scoreless. The ball.
Back then, this was one of Kronovi's most jaw-dropping moments.
It doesn't matter.
Oh my
Kronovi gonna
God,
carry this
Kronovi
over everybody.
But let's see what the defense was doing.
This is why they are considered the.
Because it was less expected, this move surprised the defense, with Fireburner turning too quick and Sad Jr. challenging too early.
The camera moment. That is just dirty.
In RLCS Season 1, we see what looks like a horrible defensive error by today's standards.
Have not been able to find each other now. Devo can leave that, and yet again, Jam Gaming.
This angle that Remco takes the ball is pretty advanced for wall shots back then. And if you pause right here, you can see the defender had moved up, not expecting such a nice wall shot. And so you can really see defense evolving as they adapt to what high-level offense is capable of. When air dribbles first became a thing, it was really unexpected and hard to defend. Nowadays, players have to fake the 50-50 and then go into an air dribble at the last possible second. Watch Squishy delay, and then, at the last moment, goes into his air dribble. In RLCS, watch Justin come off the wall and make a really late touch. I would imagine a weird touch like this would have really caught the defense off guard in the early days. But watch as Lachinio simply waits and expects the extra touch. Unpredictable play is where players like Jacob made a name for themselves, because he understood how making those unexpected last-second touches could really throw a defense back then.
Jacob hanging far upfield as only Jacob does, gets the angle. Excuse me, I don't understand how this goes in. What a play here from NRG. Do you see where he was? He was in their box.
To see that bounce, go towards the ceiling and go, yep, this is actually, I could take a shot off
I'll play this backwards too. This is part of why Jacob is such a deadly force, why players like Dapper talk about they hate playing against him, because nobody else does that stuff.
But nowadays, it really takes a lot to surprise the defense. Tough wall angle, and you can see the goalie shadow perfectly at the near post. Now watch Lethemir wait in goal here, because he actually expects the offense to hit a crazy double touch. And yep, that's an incredible save, possible only because he expected the double touch. But that's not all that caught people off guard. Back then, backboard play was also much more viable.
He does, and that's it. Weedham Girls clinches this one back.
Weedham Girls of Season 1 really made a name for themselves by continuously playing it off the backboard, or centering the ball until the defense crumbled. Watch as the defense is caught off guard by extra touches.
They're just getting beat everywhere.
Up in the air is Remco off the backboard, out for Greasy. Greasy with the shot. Good team play from Weedham Girls.
Look how early Greasy was up on this. You see Remco going up as soon as it happens and he gets a touch. You already see Greasy following it up. Good placement over the top.
Weedham Girls take shots from places I would never expect most teams to take shots. So they maybe think they're a little bit safe. Oh, Maestro
setting that one up on the backboard. Here comes Remco with the follow-up, and Greasy Maestro for the dunk. Well done, right there at halftime.
I love watching these guys. I talked about it before we even started. I was so excited. Maestro followed that so nicely, killed it down. Remco.
Weedham Girls was really one of the dominant teams in Season 1. But even they occasionally missed on their own backboard.
Oh my goodness, Mike Rules.
Mike Rules dropping that in for the first goal. Look at that, carrying it from one side. The Cooks here. He wanted the Batmobile, that's why he left. Mike Rules just finishing that off the roof.
A lot of times defenses would panic when they weren't ready to hit a shot off the backboard.
There seemed to be a little bit of communication.
As the Rocket League scene developed, a lot of pros started referring to this as prospect panic, because new players would lose their cool and flip or aerial prematurely when they actually had a lot of time.
I tried to get the dunk, he already got it over me.
Yeah. That was just really bad on my part.
No. That I can.
Oh! Yeah, no.
I
was like, that I can, and I just stopped.
They're taking some chance with it, but you still see them playing a little bit slow, especially
Off the
in front of their own
backboard,
net.
Greasy to finish it, reading his own pass.
Just like I said, man, playing a little bit too slow in front of their net. They can't take the time they're up on the wall. You know Weedham Girls is going to send at least one, and their follow-up with Greasy up in the air.
Time for this, and he noticed it. Jukesy did not have the touch he really should have defensively. He should have let someone take that from net if he had the time. Lunation tried his best to come up.
Let's take a look at Rocket League today, where defenders are even learning to defend ceiling shots by attacking the ball as early as possible. Not only that, but backboard play is not nearly as viable as it was in the old days. Weedham Girls in Season 1, Northern Gaming in Season 3 are probably the reason today players always defend their backboard.
There for it. Now Zane going off the backboard to a second win. Garrett.
Incredibly, both his teammates expect Leth to make that play, allowing them to transition to offense in the blink of an eye.
Cleared over. 3 minutes now played.
Oh, there it
coming
is!
in! Off the post, follow up from Lefebvre! 2-1, Ghost Gaming! And Elite clear their lines.
Now that backboard passes can be defended easier, high-level offense has evolved to favor infield passing instead.
Block is not Flipside's friend right now. Infield pass over to Metzenars. There is goal number 4. And the scoreline tells the story of a convincing win for Complexity.
Yeah, just more salt in the wound at this point. You see Magdas pass that one into space.
But great defense doesn't stop there. Defenders of today can consistently hit boomers off their backboard with incredible precision.
Oh my goodness. Because now they're going to need 4.
Trust me, hitting a clear with that much power is insane. I'm happy just to make contact on those, to be honest. Torment has become famous for his defensive ability, shown in plays like that. This is instructive to new players when they rank up a division or rank, to know that sometimes you need to expect better players to hit boomers that the previous ranks couldn't hit. At the pro level, players need to be even more aware of this kind of power off the backboard.
Timmy, we'll see if that puts CLG.
Hopefully being able to try and use Ignite there, but just not in time, outpacing his own player. Just across halftime here in game number 4, neither team with an edge over the other.
The patience shown in today's defense is pretty impressive. Watch as Fairy Peak slows things down instead of just giving away possession. Now watch back in Season 1 of RLCS League play, where Remco is in a very similar position, but he turns and tries to direct the ball immediately back upfield.
Back in the middle, another shot opportunity coming in, and Dogu plays that top right corner. What a beautiful shot coming out from Dogu.
Yeah, I think we know what part of the net is his favorite. And he just placed this again in the upper 90. Look at that. That is unblockable. There's no way for anyone to...
And let's not forget the prevalence of double and triple commits of old.
Take it, take it, take it.
Yeah, I was a little... Oh my God, take it!
This kind of thing just doesn't happen quite as often anymore.
Giving the games of their lives right now. Scary spot for High Power. All 3 of them up to stop that one. They didn't want to go in, but they almost gave up defensive positioning. Grease those shots, but start to get some crazy stuff and playing the way they want to play as the nerves start to wear off. Sniper Kid with a shot to the net. All 3 defenders for Comrade are up. This could be a goal, and it results in one as all 3 defenders are up.
You brought it up exactly.
As offense continues to get more interesting and challenging, the defense meta will soon follow, and the skill ceiling will continue to rise. Well, we hope you learned something today, and if you'd like to see more of Then vs. Now, RLCS recaps, why you suck at Rocket League, and whatever other stupid ideas I turn into videos, make sure to subscribe. Thanks, guys.
Oh,